Greetings metalheads, welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George and today I'm back with another Bands You Need to Hear recommendation. Another band, if you've not heard of this particular outfit before, not come across them before, you seriously need to check them out. Some top quality metal. So today's band you need to hear is a fairly recent discovery for myself, in fact. Discovered them a few months ago. Another band that I've picked up in my pursuit to explore the slightly more underground, darker crevices of the thrash metal world, the expansive scene that it is, and saturated with a lot of good bands and some a little bit mediocre, perhaps. But one of the ones that's really stood out for me is a solid Teutonic German thrash metal band by the name of Traitor. So, Traitor. Been around, a little bit of Metal Encyclopedia research tells me, been around since about 2009. I think there's 4 full-length albums in total. The first album of which I don't have. I think it's entitled Thrash Command. But there's a whole host of other splits and EPs, and I think there's a live album actually that came out in 2023. Lots of other stuff in between the full-length albums, but they are absolutely freaking ripping. Proper good, almost indescribably good thrash. If you're looking for just stripped back, plain and simple, good old-fashioned, not trying to reinvent the wheel, Teutonic Thrash, then Traitor are a band that you seriously need to hear. So when I'm talking Teutonic Thrash, if you're not familiar with what that refers to, of course we are talking primarily about the German thrash metal Big Four, the Teutonic Big Four. Think Kreator, Destruction, Sodom, and the absolutely criminally underrated Tankard. I freaking love Tankard, and they don't get enough love and appreciation, in my opinion. But Traitor are very much in that vein. Very much rooted in German thrash, in their heritage. And hey, there's no surprise there. Obviously, if you're a fan of the American stuff, or the US stuff and the South American stuff, I should say, then you're still going to dig this because it is ripping. It is proper good thrash. Not overly complicated, not progressive or technical, no insane guitar wizardry or 12-string bass guitars or anything weird and wonderful like that. We're talking primitive headbanger fuel. Absolutely fantastic. So the first album that I was showing off there, Venomizer. This is from 2015, I believe. 2015. This was the first album that I picked up, and this was a pure chance purchase. Stumbled upon it. I can't even really recall exactly how I discovered Traitor. It might have been a recommendation through YouTube videos or Spotify. Dunno. But this was the first album that I picked up, and it was a miracle, really, because it was about £6 on Amazon, and I've seen it recently again while trying to find that elusive copy of Thrash Command. Very difficult to find Traitor stuff here in the UK, I will admit, but saw it recently and it was more than double that, definitely. But this is a great album of exactly what it says on the tin. Teutonic Thrash. It's thrashing stuff. Screams of Kreator and Sodom worship, definitely. Get a weird little intro there called Chernobyl, which gives us the sounds of a Geiger counter and then launches you into Reactor 4, which absolutely just pulverizes. Proper headbang stuff. Absolutely love it. In terms of vocals, Andreas Moser sounds... He's got a bit of a Millie Petroza kind of vocal style going on at this time. Sounds like Teutonic Thrash in the riffs, in the drumming, in the vocals. Hey, it's the full package. But yeah, that really, really works. The voice fits the music and the riffs. Toxic Death is crushing. Lords of Lust is groove. It's got a bit of a groove to it. You know, it's seriously uplifting stuff. Absolutely love it. Venomizer is killer. Teutonic Storm is one of the highlights, one of the real standouts, which is just a worship, an ode to Teutonic Thrash. How many times can I say the word Teutonic in this review? Probably a few more, I should think. War, Death and Terror, brilliant. Chemical Violator, Hellhammer, Executioner, and there's a bonus track on this one, Hexenmeister. Start to finish, just pure brilliant Teutonic Thrash. Great musicians, just doing their, I'm not going to say simple thrashing thing, because those are crunchy riffs. Those are exceptional. And to be honest, it's quite well produced. You know, it really does work. But there's no insane guitar wizardry or anything. It's just lightning speed, rhythm-heavy riffs. Love it. So Venomizer is a really strong album. Things do get even stronger with the follow-up from 2018. This is Knee Deep in the Dead. So there's a few things that really stand out. We've seen the artwork for Venomizer here. Great logo. I think that Traitor have got it just screams of thrash metal. It's a very bold, eye-catching logo. Red, kind of a little bit of a destruction vibe there. A little bit of a Slayer vibe there. No surprise. The artwork, you know, it's disgusting. If you love your horror, your gore, and your gratuitous violence, then you're going to love the cover here. But this album, this is a serious beast of an album. Annoyingly, it's actually a broken jewel case, so I need to replace that. But absolutely fantastic. Love this album. Kicks off with a great track, Mad Dictator, which is just riff central. Really does scream of destruction on this album. I think that's maybe one of the more prominent influences here, along with Sodom, definitely. Predator, Skinned Alive. There's a few tracks here that are obviously an ode to video games or sci-fi and action movies. We've got Nuke 'Em All, Predator, we've got Xenomorph. Yeah, kind of tells you everything that you need to know. Short and sweet albums, these two, you know, not overly long, but just incredibly good thrash. Yeah, I say they're not reinventing the wheel, but what they are doing is kind of pushing that resurgence of thrash and really riding it, because thrash by this time, by 2018, how much more can you do? How much more room is there to move in thrash metal? There's going to be a lot of replication, but what they do really, really well. And that's the emphasis. This isn't groundbreaking stuff. This is just a great job of delivering the thrashy goods. So those couple of tracks I mentioned, Mad Dictator, Predator is killer, Nuke 'Em All is an absolute riff fest, freaking love that. Ebola, Pieces of Pale, Knee Deep in the Dead, the title track is an excellent track as well. It's just start to finish is great. There is a Ramones cover at the end of Blitzkrieg Bop, which I don't necessarily need to hear. That one's a little bit more skippable. But the rest of the album, solid. Cannot fault it. Really good. In fact, of the 3 albums that I've heard and the 3 that I've got, Knee Deep in the Dead is my favourite. So then we've got my most recent purchase from Traitor's catalogue and the most recent album from 2022. We've got Exiled to the Surface, which has an amazing album cover. Absolutely brilliant there. You know, embracing the sci-fi horror. We've got the Predator and some sort of horrific creature thing going on there. Fact, that artwork does look quite familiar. Yes, Par Olafsson, who's done many album covers. I'm gonna say that looks like his style. Tons and tons of stuff. Lineup seems to be fairly consistent and still ripping. This is a good album. There is a notable guest feature from none other than Mr. Tom Angel Ripper, Uncle Tom himself from Sodom. Nearly said from Slayer there. From Sodom, the legend who guests on the track Total Thrash, which is a great track. This is a really good album. The thing that I kind of struggle with a little bit is the George Michael cover of Careless Whisper, track number 6, because although they do a thrashing version of it, odd choice, but hey, you know, whatever floats your boat. There was obviously a reason for it there. Must have been in situ somewhere. Don't know, but the rest of the album, really good. Again, more of the same, but I'd say it's progressed a little bit. You know, they've got their own sound, they've got their own style, their own take on good old-fashioned Teutonic Thrash, and there are some absolute gems on this album. The second track, Exiled to the Surface, is fantastic. Love that. As is the Total Thrash track featuring Tom Angel Ripper. Total thrash worship. You know, that's just pure thrash love. 66 Exeter Street is a great one as well. Quite a dark, heavy, a little bit of a kind of traditional heavy metal vibe going on there as well. Brilliant. Teutonic Storm 2021 is an interesting adaptation there, and a good solid thrashing track, thrashing tribute there. Into the Nitosphere is good. Metroid is good. It's a good album. It's a good album. I would say that I kind of prefer the other two just a little bit more thinking about it, but still solid. If you like riffs and you like headbanging and you like not overly serious music that's about predators and alien stuff, then you're going to dig, big time dig, Traitor. So what else can you say? Other than if you like thrash, Teutonic style, so as I say, the big Teutonic 4, but if you also like your US thrash as well, of course, and if you like more modern thrash bands, the up and coming ones, bands like Angelus Apatridor, for example, bands like that are kind of just embracing the old school stuff, but doing something a little bit more progressed with it, then hey, you're definitely gonna dig Traitor. If I was gonna say check out any one of these albums, it would be Knee Deep in the Dead, but give them a chance. Check it out. If you want some straight up thrash, Traitor from Germany, a band you need to hear. Check them out. You will not regret it. So, my friends, are you a fan of Traitor already? Let me know what you think of Traitor. If you've never heard of them before, check them out. Let me know what you think. Always interested to hear, of course, thoughts and opinions of others on these ones. But thank you very much for watching, my friends. Hope you've enjoyed this humble review. Please do feel free to like, subscribe, share, support. It's very much appreciated, as always. So thank you, everyone. Do check back soon for more reviews and recommendations of all the good, heavy things. Until next time, take care of yourselves and stay heavy.